Hello, everyone. It is another episode of Financial Fraud Friday. And today, Karina and I will be discussing a Miss Charmaine Gatlin. But before we get all into it, I want to introduce myself. My name is Nike Togba. I am the owner of Togba and Associates, a tax and accounting advisory firm in Atlanta, Georgia. We focus on assisting our clients with a personalized approach. We take away their stress so that they can focus on what they do best.
Hi, everyone. My name is Karina O'Connor, where we help millennial business owners with tax problems through strategy, not shame. I'm the owner and founder of Cake Financial, a virtual firm here in South Florida, but we can help nationwide.
Okay. All right, you guys. Now you know who we've like introduced ourselves, okay? And basically we're saying, listen, we're everything tax and advisory and business. And the IRS said, what do you wait, what? But today we are talking about a Miss Charmaine Gatlin, okay? This story is from the Miami Herald. This was updated on July 6th. 2025. Okay, it says she's accused of fleecing $3.6 million from the Jackson Foundation. Okay, she is the former chief operating officer of Jackson Health Foundation. She has been accused of fleecing $3.6 million from the foundation. This foundation raises funds for the Jackson Health System. It's Miami-Dade's public hospital network. Okay, so it's called the Jackson Health Foundation. So a little backstory: she's the former COO. She worked with them between 2019
to 2024.
It's alleged that she siphoned these funds through that's usually like that's the fraud go-to is submitting false invoices. So you would think that, but anyway, we'll get into that. So she got these funds by submitting false invoices. She had an alleged conspirator. I keep jacking up his name. What's his name?
Jurgen Jones.
He's the CEO of American Sound Design of Atlanta, Georgia. And so basically this is the backstory. 3.6 mil.
3.6.
Okay. And in our reading and some of our research, by 2024, Miss Gatlin's yearly salary was approved to $300,000.
Yeah.
So my
Yep. 300,000.
because
That's crazy. It's a good, it's a good amount of money. It's a good amount of money.
so how do we get to it's not enough?
Tale is all the time, it's greed and opportunity. That greed and opportunity will do something.
How do we get to $300,000 is not enough? I mean, she was spending this money on what is it? Louis bags.
Oh yeah, there's a Louis Vuitton bag for including, so it was like some of the money was used to buy Louis Vuitton and Gucci goods. The Louis Vuitton bag was $4,350, and then
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, all right. I was like, we just got to the juice. Like $15,000 rose gold golf cart delivered to her West End home. And based on our reading, she lives in Georgia, Rosedale. Am I saying that properly? Yeah.
Okay.
Rosedale, Georgia, but the golf cart was delivered to her West End home. West End is in South Florida. That's Broward County.
Did she? Okay, so she live in the West? You mean the West End? Because
no, West End is the name of the city in Broward County, South Florida.
But she also lived in Georgia. She lived in Atlanta.
Yeah, but it seems like her residence where she is is in Georgia.
Right. Okay. Because
she rose gold golf cart. is what she used some of the funds for.
Okay.
That's crazy.
She received high marks on her evaluation as the nonprofit's chief operating officer and was described by her bosses as a highly ethical leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so interesting. Oh, go ahead.
I know what I was, so basically she wasn't submitting these invoices. Jurgen, am I saying that right again? Was submitting these invoices to the foundation. But what the Miami Herald is reporting is that these invoices, some of the services that were listed in these invoices weren't for services that were actually provided to Jackson. They were, these company invoices were for services that were provided to other entities. For instance, one of them being a chapter of the Atlanta 100 Black Men of America.
Mm-hmm.
So, which she worked for at one point prior to working for Jackson. But in conjunction to or in tandem to working for Jackson, she was also a volunteer still for 100 Black Men of America chapter in Atlanta. So she had ties to them. The 100 Black Men, of course, are saying that they knew nothing of this.
Mm-hmm.
They are saying they didn't know that these invoices were being paid by Jackson Health on their behalf. They didn't know anything about this. They can't say they don't have any connection because the connection is clearly there. They are saying they did not know that this was happening.
Yes, that is what they're saying. And then just to do a correction, she was doing some of the fabrication of the invoices as well.
Oh, was she?
Yeah. So it says her disrupt dismissal led to an FBI probe and shocking revelation in May 2025. Gatlin, 52, a foundation executive over a past decade, was arrested on charges of fleecing $3.6 million from her former employee, fabricating fake invoices from vendors, and receiving $1 million in kickback from them. And then that's when it goes into her buying money, like using some of the money to buy the Louis Vuitton bags and the golf cart. So she was, and I think that's what the conspiracy charge is too, like some of the funds, because not all of it was Jurgen with the audiovisual company. The other words were dispersed in different manners as well. So it was like a nice little scheme. A nice little scheme that they had like going and flowing. So much so that Miami Herald, where we read the Jackson Health Foundation had to change their policies after this. They had to get stricter with their policies, basically increasing scrutiny. Why can't I talk, girl? Increasing their because I'm trying to find it.
Internal controls is what I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, basically increasing their internal controls to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
But
go ahead.
Well, if you were bringing in one event, because let's give Miss Thang her props.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give Miss Thang her props in that she did her job well.
Oh, for sure.
Because if she threw because they say she threw one event, that event brought in $500K in donations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Thang was doing her job. She was doing what she was supposed to do. Okay.
Oh, sure.
She was showing improvement as far as the job was concerned. But if one event If you're bringing in that much for one event, your internal controls need to be a little, because that tells me you're bringing in a lot of money per year. Okay.
Mhm.
You are enough for internal controls to be tight enough to begin with. I feel like for that amount of money with a nonprofit, she shouldn't have been the only. There should have been a 2-signature thing.
Mhm.
Saying there should
Yeah.
have, you start bringing in that amount of money in one shot, if there's no internal, and maybe they had no internal auditor, right?
Mhm. Yeah, probably
Maybe
not.
there was no internal auditor on site. Why was there no external audits ever done?
Mhm.
That's another question I would ask. Because an external audit could have picked this up. Because as an external auditor, I'd have been like, okay, which, for me, if I start seeing an invoice that I'm like, why do we keep seeing an invoice from this particular company? These questions are starting to be asked. I wonder what triggered it in the first place. Like, did somebody blow a whistle?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think
it doesn't say it was the result of an audit.
happened.
It doesn't say it was the result of what triggered this?
That's a really good question. It doesn't say. I don't see anywhere where it says what triggered it at all, actually.
Nothing. So if I am, me with my little putting around my little fraud hat, somebody said something,
Probably.
which is the only way that this could have. Somebody said something, and listen, y'all. I'm speculating. This is all. I feel like either somebody said something. Maybe she made somebody mad. I don't know. I'm going into this, but there's no internal auditor. There was nothing. What triggered this?
I have no idea. That is a good question.
As she
That's
said,
a good question.
mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Right? Because she could have kept this going. She was doing her job well. She was.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. She was doing it wonderfully. She was doing it wonderfully, because I'm looking and I'm like, I don't see anything where it says how she got it. How she got caught, rather.
How she got caught. Yeah.
I don't see any of that.
Yeah. And so it says, in the aftermath of her arrest, this audiovisual company, American Sound Design, is it called AEE Productions, I guess is what they're
Something
calling
like that. Yeah.
That their website is no longer active. Let me see. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, they're probably keeping it still. It's still fresh.
Let's see. What are they called? American. Okay. Sound design. Yeah.
Not there.
No, it's not there. I don't see it.
There it is.
And here's the other thing. What confuses me about both of these individuals, Jurgen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's his whole name? Because if we got to say her,
Jurgen, I think it was Johnson. Let me just.
Because if Charmaine, right? This is her name.
Yeah, Jurgen Jones, not Johnson.
Jurgen Jones.
Yes.
Both of them were doing well. His company was not some fly by night. He was putting on, or he was hired as doing the audio visual of the sound for very large companies, Coca-Cola, Ritz-Carlton. It's not like he had little bitty contracts. You know what I mean? It's not like he was just doing the sound design for the community center down the street. You have, I mean, it's the truth.
It's true.
Which means you were being paid. You're putting on, you've been to some of these corporate conferences and events.
Yes.
It's a big deal. Okay.
Huge
and it doesn't go on for one day sometimes. Sometimes these are 3-4 day events. So
true. Especially for a nonprofit, like that is nonprofits funds are pretty much all donations. So they make it elaborate and nice and whatever else,
Right.
all smoothie and whatever else. So the big wigs can feel, oh, this is a beautiful event. Let me donate to this cause. Yeah. So he wasn't
It's not as if, well, and then maybe that's what kind of made the scheme
believable.
believable. Because
Yeah.
if you were some,
Yeah. Just a small.
really, really,
Mm,
sir, are you submitting one of the invoices was what, $30,000? A $30,000 invoice. So, I don't know if he was some
a little
small
bit.
fly-by-night individual, it would not have, maybe it would not have been believable. But a $30,000 invoice?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the thing said the invoices range from 5,000 to 81,000 each.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's been multiple, and that's just from Jones's company. And there's some other companies involved, some events from, there's some random things that were purchased, like I said, with the Louis Vuitton purses and bags and all of that.
okay.
So just from his company, those invoices range from 5,000 to 81,000.
But get this, his lawyer, Atlanta lawyer, Ronald Freeman,
Mm-hmm.
who represents Jones's company, AEE Productions, which provided services to 100 Black Men of America, said it was not the audio-visual company referenced in the Gatlin indictment.
Interesting.
Sir, okay.
Very interesting, because the Miami Herald has, like, when people have testimonials,
Mhm.
they have a screenshot, and they screenshot it, which is probably the reason why
And
his website is gone. The screenshot says, it's a great time, exciting time working for AEE Productions. I've been working
exactly.
with the team for over 15 years. So if you're not the audiovisual company that she, because why would she switch?
She's the one that says, yes, this is a testimonial by Charmaine Gatlin,
Mm-hmm.
EVP, Chief Operating Officer for Jackson Health Foundation. Not only does she mention the name of the company, she says his name. So how could you come back? She says Jurgen's vision and understanding of technology is second to none. He and his team are very professional and always over deliver.
Mm-hmm.
AE Productions is full. She says his name. So how could you come after that and
And
say
say it wasn't him.
it wasn't him?
Okay. Sure.
Okay,
It,
sir. Come on.
it's looking pretty much like him. But okay, And then I'm sure with those type of funds and those companies, invoice copy. We don't have the invoice copies, but the invoice copies can be retrieved, because I'm sure Jackson Foundation, well, actually, whatever. But I'm sure Jackson Foundation, in order to pay out those elaborate amounts, there has to be an invoice. Yes, because I do remember in the article it said that they wrote down things that he did, like light fixture, on the invoice, like what was
Okay.
described on the invoice, like light descriptions, light fixtures, and fixing the visuals and all of that. So the invoices and the physical invoices exist. It's just that the Jackson Foundation said that work was never done. So those invoices are also like not him, I don't know.
Okay. So, apparently there was okay. Oh, well, the audit had started to happen after, I guess.
Oh, after this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, here's how it was found. The investigation was brought to light earlier this year by, oh no, it still wasn't found. It's still just an investigation. How it happened,
Mm.
um,
But not.
but not exactly, why they
Yeah,
did
like
to
why
have
now?
it. Yeah, exactly. They raised more than 9 million. The foundation raised more than $9 million for Jackson Health last year.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. And
That's
the awful part, the sad part of this is now, because of her actions, this and this is Miami-Dade. You live in Florida. Is
mhm.
that a predominantly
Yeah, I was like, what we
is it a predominantly Black section? Is it a predominantly affluent section of Florida? I don't know,
Miami-Dade County is, so the whole county is relatively mixed, like relatively mixed, but there are certain subsets of Miami-Dade where it is not mixed. Like it is not mixed. So
Okay.
I don't know exactly where
Where
Jackson
Miami
Health is in that, but it is not mixed. Like a lot of it is some of it is like Hispanic, like a lot of Hispanic community. There's a lot of Haitians in Miami-Dade. There's a lot of Cubans in Miami-Dade. And overall, there's a good amount of white people too, because Miami-Dade also includes Miami Beach, South Beach, all of those too. Like that's the all of the county. So it really depends on which part.
Well,
But a large portion is Hispanic.
but think about it. But think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Because think about it. Who needs help? If I have money, I don't need help.
That's correct. That's
I
it.
don't have money, I need help.
That's true.
Right? So if I get money, I'm not like, hey, I heard y'all got that foundation. Let me get some of those funds to assist me. And that's not what you're doing. When you need this,
That's
it's
true.
my assumption is that you have this foundation to assist those who cannot help themselves,
Yeah, that
to
should be it.
support those who cannot take care of themselves. So the sad part is now, and I didn't even know there was a rating system for nonprofits.
Me neither, actually, but
And so I'm trying to figure out where I saw that. Now there's a caution label. After her firing and the subsequent scandal, the Jackson Health Foundation now has a proceed with caution label on the website of Charity Navigator, a nonprofit that rates U.S. charities on a variety of measures, including stability, efficiency, and sustainability, to help people with their donation decisions. So now you've got a proceed with caution label.
Right. That
Now
sucks.
they've got to do everything in their power, and your reputation is everything.
Matters.
How do you build your reputation back up? Now there's always the whisper of you know this.
Right. The COO took all our money because it's their money. It's the donators' money because the foundations are run on donations. So it's somebody gave this money in with the hopes of giving back to the operations of the foundation, the helping and assistance of the foundation, and all the things that the foundation is supposed to do while being a nonprofit. There's a greater good that nonprofits are created for, allegedly, right? Well, most of them should be, at least, right? So these donations are coming in with the hopes of, oh yeah, we can help a kid in need, or blah blah blah, right? And these funds by your COO that you elected and you gave $300,000 to in your salary during evaluation that you didn't find out, did all these things for 5 years, misappropriated our funds for 5 years.
Exactly. So where'd the ball drop? How did we go through?
And it wasn't just like, so we're saying her name because she's the top piece. But Jackson Health said that they got rid of all the employees that they thought were involved in this scheme as well, because she's COO, so she's at the top, but there's people under her. There's people under her that were probably involved as well, but they just aren't naming them. But they no longer have a job, at least not at Jackson Health.
And speaking of not having a job at Jackson Health,
I just know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Where I'm going. Okay, come on. 100 Black Men of America Atlanta chapter hires her after she gets fired in November, or excuse me, she's let me use the politically correct term. They said fired. They fired her in November.
Yeah, they said, "Come on back here, girl." Like, cause she was working there before.
Come on, baby, we got you.
Yeah, come back here, girl. Like, don't worry about them.
You can work for us. We're gonna let you work for us.
Yes, and only until this came out, they, I think the 100 Black Men Foundation or whatever organization, whatever they are,
they decided to let her no longer.
Yeah, they decided to terminate her after all of this came out. But I guess the question should have been, if she was terminated from Jackson Health after all these years, right? Like, people coming in from the 100, why did they terminate you? Unless it was a situation of, I left. You know what I'm saying? Did she tell them that she left her employment there, as opposed to she got left? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it wouldn't raise any questions,
right?
Yeah.
Oh no, he I left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I left. I just left. Yeah, it wasn't one of those situations. I just left. They wasn't treating me right, so
let's give the 100 Black Men of America Atlanta chapter benefit of the doubt.
Benefit of the doubt, yeah. I'm gonna give them benefit of the doubt. Maybe
y'all are really there's a connection there. I ain't trying to be. There's a connection there that I am not saying that they knew or that they even participated this in any way, shape, or form, but that she would feel comfortable enough. How do you get to a state of being to feel comfortable enough where your current employer is paying for services? Come on now.
Oh yeah.
Like, where you get that? You that bold? Because think about this. Now, okay, unless, and it could be that, and I don't know how much the largest invoice was for, but if I'm a company and someone says, even if they said, we're going to donate these services to you, I don't think that you can't deduct donated services. I'm taking my hat, right? The services. Okay, I gotta think back because I'm mixing some stuff up. Okay. Right? I'm mixing some stuff up in my head, so I don't want to say, what I'm thinking. But even if they said we're donating these services, $30K worth. I'm like, hold on. We like you and all. I don't know, but I don't know. It's all relative. And again, I'm just speaking on, opinion, but, for them to hire her back, and it could just read they had a really great relationship.
Yeah, I think so. Because even throughout, because remember also, like, after, so she got left in November of 2024. And then in 2025, I think it was early 2025, 100 Black men were having their annual conference as well, in addition to. So it's like, we can use your skill set here.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we've already built a rapport. You worked here before, as well as you were a volunteer and you've brought funds in before as well. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, okay, like, you know.
Because this event was June 2024. And she's listed as being one of the conference's co-producers with Jurgen Jones and his AEE Productions company, recognized for stage production.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like perfect timing, you know, like when you're, especially if last year was June 2024, that means this year they also had that same conference around June 2025. And you know, you can't do conferences in 2 days. You got to start preparing from probably the year before, really.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, great, you're free now. You're doing wonderful work, you know. Come on over here and help us. We'll hire you.
Well,
you know.
I can't get over Ronald talking about it was not the audio visual.
Yeah, no, that's crazy though. That is, I'm like, I would be curious to see how he swings that.
Oh, so he's basically saying, no, he's not saying they didn't work together. He's saying that's not the company that was referenced in the Gatlin indictment. So he's working from, he's working back.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like possible deniability of.
That's what he's trying. You know, it's the lawyers talk.
Okay, they know what to say.
Saying, oh no,
that's somebody else. That could be. That's not us.
Exactly.
That's not our reputable site.
They work together, but that's not. I see what
that's not
doing.
us. That's not us.
Ronald say he's doing his job. What you?
But I guess my thing is that when the invoices come to light, the print copies of those invoices come to light, whose name will be on the invoice.
Well, right now,
and not even just whose name's on the invoice. Where did the wire go? Which bank account did that wire deposit?
Well, right now, I think it's just about. He's like, listen, honey, I'm just trying to save your little reputation in these.
Yeah. So, you know, because and right now they said that Jurgen is not hasn't been indicted or anything like that yet. So it's all alleged.
I'm gonna keep an eye on this one because this.
Yeah, I think they said that Jurgen wasn't. So
yeah, okay. Well, but he's got to look well. I guess you better get a lawyer.
Yeah, as he should. Like, you know, as he should. It's like crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, let me disassociate myself from this person as soon as possible. And that's what the 100 Black men did too, like their foundation or whatever. They said as soon as this came out, hold on. We didn't know nothing about we didn't know nothing about those funds. We didn't know nothing about her. We thought she was good, whatever.
Yeah.
So the same with Jackson. Like, we're acting like she was good at her job. She did it well. So much so where her evals, even before she got the 300,000, her previous eval said they coined her to name like she would be like a future CEO. You know what I'm saying? So nobody expected this level of trickery and you know.
Well,
and that's what usually makes the best, like the best people, the best con people. They're usually like pretty charming, like they're pretty cunning. They have that level of personality where you can literally think, oh no, not them. So
yeah, okay. Well, because it says learn. Okay, so it's the Herald that's kind of okay, because okay. Well, here's the takeaway, you guys, because we always got a takeaway. The takeaway for me, I'm gonna come from the since I'm a fraud examiner, I'm gonna come from the standpoint of companies, nonprofits, if you're starting a company, because a lot of times people start companies and as the CEO, you have a CFO or a C, you know what I mean? You start delegating responsibility to other people so that you can focus on what you do best again, right? So if what you do best is managing all the parts and pieces, you're not managing the financial, you're not doing the financial management. There could be someone else doing that.
Right.
Internal controls are important. What are internal controls? Checks and balances, separation of duties, meaning if she's the one that is, she should have been the one approving the invoices.
Yeah.
She should not have been. There
Exactly.
has been at a certain point double confirmation, meaning if the invoice is over a certain amount, two individuals must confirm this invoice,
Right.
must sign off on this invoice. You know what I mean? There should have been additional. And then I'm going to say, finally, there should always be a review of internal control and processes to see where, there are weak connections or where there aren't segregation of duties, where your internal controls could fail. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I'm sure if they had done a review of the process,
they'll be able to see. Yeah, because it's also like, was she the one approving the invoices or just giving them in? And then the finance committee was approving. But then I would say a second thing too, with like, especially with nonprofit accounting or whatever, sometimes they'll do expenses, like revenue expenses per event. You know what I'm saying? To say, because they should be able to tie, if this is for a program and this is for a specific foundation and event, they should be able to tie every invoice to whatever event and say, oh, well, this event didn't even happen. This invoice says for, I don't know, some random, like, you know what I'm saying? And this event didn't even happen. So I agree with Nikkei in the sense of checks and balances, dollar amount. Like once it hits a certain dollar amount, multiple C levels, like, approve this and understand like what exactly is going on. Yeah, I think that's basically it because everything else was, maybe once again with the 100 Black men of America, I don't know if she told them that she left her job or whatever that thing is. But if, let's say she let them know that, she got fired, a due diligence for them would have been after that fact of why are you no longer at that particular place anymore? And then doing that due diligence there, like, why are you not there? And then, you know what I'm saying? But it depends on what she said. So maybe she only said, I left the job, as opposed to,
they left me.
But yeah, I think that's it. And then once again, like greed and opportunity will get people in the mix every single time.
Because they were making good money.
$300,000.
Like I've been
like,
I don't need
it's mind-boggling, you know what I'm saying? There's no need for a random rose gold golf cart. Like off, whatever you want to do with your money, that's fine. But off of the money that you're laundering. That you're like,
and did you not think
for 5 years. For 5 years. That's another thing me and Nikkei always talk about. Like, it's not even that these people are doing it for real quick just to get up and get into a situation.
Yeah, that's the part that kills me.
Bad. All of it is still bad, but they'll do it for years.
Oh my! Oh, so you were that confident in your ability
while making money.
And don't you know that there's no honor anyway? You don't get me
thieves.
honor amongst thieves.
Among thieves.
The minute you cut somebody out and you like, oh Tom, you ain't getting a check today. Oh, you gonna give me money? We've been doing this together for 10 years and you're not gonna give me
exactly.
That's it. So
I'm calling the alphabet boys. Hey, do you guys need a
I know it's a scam, you know what I mean? So, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying, or I'm not, but again, it to me, there will always, Karina, you and I will always have something to talk about.
Oh, for sure. For sure. This is like a normal thing.
It will always
Yeah.
have something. So this one is interesting, you guys. If you have any comments or any tea you'd like to add, maybe you know some tea that you want to add to this, please feel free to add it in the comments. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear what you think.
Yes.
We enjoy talking about this stuff, and we look forward to hearing any tea or anything that you might have to say on this. I am going to keep an eye on it. We are going to keep an eye on it,
Yes.
and keep you updated. Why not? Because I now that I know that there's some connection to Atlanta, I'll definitely.
Yeah. And yeah, right. Both of our like areas, Atlanta and South Florida. Like, it's crazy.
Wait, what? Karina laughed at me because initially when I realized, the other connections, I was just surprised. But we're going to keep an eye on it. And again, you guys, we are here every 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks for another episode of Financial Fraud Friday. We encourage you guys to join us. Karina, anything you want to add?
No, I forgot to do the disclaimer. So disclaimer. These are all of this is not tax advice, financial advice, or any type of advice. Although we are professionals, we are not your professional. You pay us and you have a conversation and consultation and all of those, and you could have a signed engagement with us. So understand that these videos are for educational purposes only. And you should not take anything.
I was surely entertained.
Yeah, education and entertainment purposes only. And these opinions are ours. That's it.
That's it. All right, you guys, have a great day, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.